All right. So thank you all for accommodating my time change. I'm not sure yet if this is going to stick or not. The Y wanted me to take that class at 9:30 on Monday, and I taught it for the first time this week, and there was only one person there.
Oh, gosh.
So I was a little disappointed.
Mm-hmm. What kind of class is it?
It's a PIO. It's half Pilates, half yoga. But I teach it 2 other times a week, and we have a capacity, and it's going to capacity on Tuesday and Thursday, and so they really wanted to add another one. But I don't know. We'll see. If people are into it and then they show up next week, then that's great. If they're totally not into it and I don't do it anymore, I don't care. But I also took on 2 senior chair classes that are going really well, and that's what I wanted to do. Anyway. All right.
Well, if it works out that we can switch back to Monday, that would be great. But otherwise,
yeah. As I said, we'll see what happens once it's been on the schedule and people actually know it's there and see if they actually show up. But it's crazy that I had 15 people plus a waiting list on Tuesday and Thursday, and I had 1 person.
Have to give it a month or so for people to realize that it's there.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens this month, and then we'll reassess with everything, right? Okay. So back here, here's what I have to do. I have to spotlight myself. That's what I need to do. I can see myself, and you guys can all see me. All right. Now, so you guys can see me? See my whole body? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do your little Tai Chi. You guys are probably already doing it, but move a little bit. And then let's just do some leg circles, some standing leg circles to warm up. Right, so you're gonna come with your feet about hip width distance. We'll put all the weight first into the right foot, lift up off the left heel, and then just kick this left foot forward. You can hover it if you want, or you can drop your toes to the ground, and then flex your foot, bring it around to the side. Do that 5 more times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. And then from there, we're going to come up off the right heel, and you're going to left heel. We're going to kick that left foot to the left. And you can drop your toes, you can hover, but you're going to flex the foot, bring it around in a U shape. This off to the side, flex it, bring it around the back. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to do our backside mechanics here. Come off your back heel, kick that foot back behind you, bring it around to the side. Do that 5 more times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to switch and do the other side. So you're going to put all of your weight into that left foot now. Come up off your right heel, kick the right foot out to the right, flex the foot, bring it around the back. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now from here, come off the right heel, kick the right foot to the right. Again, you can drop the toes, you can hover the toes, but you're making that U shape, flex your foot, bring it around the back. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now we're coming back to standing. No, wait, we have to do 1 more, right? We got to do the back. We're done. So you really want to flex that foot, come off the right heels, kick that right foot back behind you, bring it around to the side. Don't do what I did and lose your balance. Keep your shoulders still, keep right over your hips. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now it's time to stop here. Now, from here, we're going to take our feet out super wide. You're making this nice wide stance. You're going to take your hands up to the sky. We're going to do our windmills here, so that means you're going to bring your left hand over towards your right ankle, right hand up to the sky, And then change it out. Bring your left hand to your right ankle, or right hand to the left ankle, sorry, it's this guy. So you're going back and forth here. You're gonna keep your legs straight, trying to keep your upper body straight, just hinging at the hip. So you're making your core work to bring you up and down. Let's do 2 more each way. Last one. Come all the way up. All right, let your hands come to your sides here. So to bring your feet together. Right now, from here, we're gonna take our hands up to the sky, right? So you're just here. Now, you're gonna bend your knees. Send your hips back and down, right? So you're taking a little squat. Put your belly all the way on your thighs and sweep your hands back behind you. So your thumbs are coming up, or your thumbs are coming together, your palms are up, the crown of your head is towards the top of your mat. And then don't switch the shape of your hands, right? Keep the palms up, but start to push them forward and come all the way back up. All right, so we're gonna do that 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Sweep your hands down to your sides. All right, now we're gonna sit down on the mat. So see if you can do it without using your hands. Maybe you pick up and just drop down. Maybe cross your feet, sit down. Maybe one knee down, then the other, right? Just see how you can get down to the mat without using your hands. All right, we're gonna do here first. We're just gonna do our little scoops. All right, our hook line scoops. So you're gonna bring your toes to the top of your mat, sit up tall, reach your hands out long, make fists with your hands, pull your elbows to your ribs. You're looking straight ahead here. Tuck your chin to your chest. You're coming down halfway, right? So we're coming to that halfway point where you kind of want to go all the way down and you want to come back up. You're looking at your belly. You should feel it engage, right? You should feel that pull in it. Now, you're going to push your belly back up to your thighs, keeping your elbows glued to your ribs the whole time, keeping those fists. Look straight ahead. All right, let's do that about 8 times. So let's do 7 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now we come all the way back up. We come all the way back up. Now we're going to come around. What are we going to do here? Let's see, we're going to come around. Now we're going to lie down all the way on our back first, right? We'll keep warming up before we go into the crazy stuff, right? So you're going to reach your hands out long, tuck your chin to your chest. Now let yourself lay all the way down on your back, all right? And then bring your legs up so that you're in floating table. So you've got the knees right over the hips and the calves parallel to the ground. Really flex your feet so your toes are coming back towards your face. You can lift your head and shoulders up for this part, or you can keep your head and shoulders down, right? What we're gonna do here, we're gonna do our little heel taps. So you're gonna take your right leg. Don't change the L shape in your leg. Keep that perfect L shape, right? But you're gonna drop your right heel down to the mat. A little tap, tap, pull it back up. So you bring it back up right with your right knee still right over your right hip. Calf still parallel to the ground. Do the left foot, tap, tap, bring it back up. So just go back and forth here. Right leg, tap, tap, pull it up. Left leg, tap, tap, pull it up. Don't let your heel drop down to your glute. Keep that L shape in your leg, right? So you don't want to be here. right? You're here. And don't extend your legs. So it's not here, you're not kicking out. You're dropping that leg. 4 more on each side. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. All right, now, if you had your head and shoulders up, let them come down. Take your knees, hug them all the way in to your chest. All right, now, we're gonna roll to one side or the other. Push up. Now, you're gonna do this next thing. You can do it from a full plank. You can do it from a modified plank with your knees down, or you can do it from a tabletop, just on hands and knees, all right? I'm gonna show you what it looks like, right? So it starts with shoulder taps. If I'm doing it in tabletop, it just is like this, right? Shoulder tap, a shoulder tap, right? And then from there, you're gonna reach out. So you're gonna take your one hand, reach it out, drop it down, take the other hand, reach it out, drop it down. You tap the opposite shoulder with the opposite hand, you take a reach with each hand. That's the pattern, right? I shoot it from tabletop, it's pretty easy. You can be there if you want to, right? Or you walk your hands a little bit out, walk your knees a little bit further back, get your back nice and flat. Your shoulders are over your wrist. This is modified plank, right? I tap, I reach, right? Or you really want to challenge yourself, you're doing it from full plank, right? You start with your knees up off the mat, on your toes, tap, tap, reach. That's hard, right? When you reach, your palm opens towards the opposite side, your thumb goes up to the sky, right? So we're gonna try to do that 10 times, tap, tap, reach, reach. Now, you choose where you're gonna do it from. I'm not gonna do it from full plank the whole time, although I might try a couple from there eventually. I'm gonna start from modified plank. If you think modified plank feels like a lot or starts to feel like a lot, once we're going, then you change it to a tabletop. Bring your hips back over your knees. So you basically bring your knees in a little bit when you do that. All right, here we go. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 1. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 2. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 3. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 4. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 5. As we get more into it, right? Start thinking about your hips. Don't let them sway from side to side, right? So we're on 6. I reached at 6. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 7. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 8. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 9. Tap, tap, reach, reach. That's 10. All right, wherever you are, plank, modified plank, tabletop, push yourself back to child's pose. Let your hips come over your heels and reach those arms out long. I'm just gonna turn the fan on in here because it's getting pretty warm. All right, so when you're ready, you're gonna come back up into tabletop. Now we're gonna bring it around into a hook line. Drop your hips, take your legs around. We're back in that hook line position, right? I always tell you guys, our natural instinct in hook line is to grab around our knees, right? Because then we can pull ourselves up. We're sitting up, and your arms are doing a little bit of the work, your core's not doing so much work, right? We're gonna try to take that out of it. Just reach your hands forward, right? See how that feels. Now, come up so that just your heels are on the ground, right? Trying to keep your heels lightly on the ground. Maybe you're gonna do this whole thing from this as a starting point. Maybe, if you're feeling good today, you can lift your heels up and start from a boat. Right, what are we gonna do? Right, you're gonna pull one knee in. So I'm pulling, well, I'll start by pulling my right knee in. My left heel is still hovering. I'm gonna take my left hand, reach it, tag the inside of my right ankle, right? And then I'm gonna take that right leg back out, pull my left leg in, tap the inside of my left ankle with my right hand. So just going back and forth here, back and forth. Now, maybe you have your heels on the ground, and it's here. All right, so wherever you are, do 10 more on each side. 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. All right, drop your feet to the ground. Let your belly come all the way to your thighs. Wrap your hands around your shins. Tuck your chin to your chest, drive your forehead towards your knees. So you release all the tension that we built up in the flexors. Now we're gonna lie back down on our back for this next part, right? And then we'll go back and we're gonna play with our boat some more in a second. Right now, you're gonna take your arms long, lay all the way down on your back. Now, as you come down to your back, I know I'm lying sideways, that's just so you can see my whole body. Maybe you can't see this as well. What I'm gonna do here is take my feet out wide to the edges of the mat. You look better if I face forward here. So you want your feet wide, wider than your hips, right? And then you're gonna take your arms, that's the problem, is I can't reach my arms, all the way overhead. So my arms are all the way overhead here. Right? And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come up with my arms, right? My arms are gonna be like a lever. I'm gonna lift my head and shoulders up, reach between my knees, come all the way back down. So your arms don't stay straight, they come all the way down to the ground. Right? Then you lift up again. This time as you lift up, you're reaching your arms towards the outside of your legs. Coming all the way back down, right? So you guys get the idea. I'm gonna come, my feet are wide here, you can't tell they're wide when I'm in this angle. My arms are overhead, and you can see that, right? I lift up, reach my arms to the center. I come back down, I lift up, I reach my arms to the sides. All right, so we're gonna do 10 more like that. Center, back down, to the sides. Center, back down, to the sides. 8 more. Center, back down, to the sides, back down. Center, back down, to the sides, back down. 6 more. Center, down, to the sides, and down. Center, down, to the sides, and down. 4 more. Center, down, to the sides, and down. Center, down, to the sides, and down. 2 more. Center, down, sides, down. Last one. Center, down, to the sides, and down. Right now, as we come all the way down here, right? Now, you're gonna bring your palms together overhead, right? We're just gonna bang this part out right now. Right, so your palms are touching each other, your thumbs are on the ground. You're gonna lift up. As you lift up, take your arms all the way across your body, so you're reaching them outside that one leg, right? I'm starting on the left just because that's the side that's toward you guys. You can start on the right if you want. And then you're coming all the way down. As you come back up again, comes the other side, right? Coming up and down, so taking both hands across your body. All right, let's do 10 more. Try to keep your palms pressing together. So your arms are moving as one lever. 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. 6 more. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. All right, now lay all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest. Hug around your knees. All right, so let's do the other half of our boat sequence here. So start to do those rock and rolls. Right? You can take your hands behind your knees if you want to. I want you to rock yourself up so that your heels just hover the mat. All right, and then let yourself roll back down. Keep your head and shoulders up off the mat. Get up again, heels off the mat, come down, head and shoulders off the mat. So we're taking the momentum out of it. You're gonna make your core work, get you up and down each time. Right? If you can, maybe you don't even use your arms around your legs. It takes even more momentum out of it, makes your core work even harder. If using your hands is the only way you get up and down, then you're gonna use your hands. Right? Do 4 more of these. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, roll down. And this time we roll back up. We're gonna sit all the way up. All right, so now we're gonna come around into a hook line. I'm facing you guys to see what's going on with my legs here. All right, so I'm gonna bring myself up into boat. It could be whatever your version of boat is, right? So it could just be with your toes on the mat. It could be grabbing around the front of your knees. It could be grabbing behind your knees. It could be here. It could be way up here, right? Find your version of boat. Hold it for 3 breaths. Reaching your hands forward if you can. Now from here, right, you're gonna take your left hand up to the sky. Take your right hand inside your right knee. Really bend into your right knee. See if you can grab on to the outside sole of your right foot from the inside, right? If that's not gonna happen, you can bend your knee as much as you need to, right? Pull it in. Maybe you have to grab the right knee with your hands up on your right shin or something. That's all good, right? Now, from there, see if you can kick that right leg all the way straight. Maybe you have to grab onto your left knee. It looks like this. Maybe your left toes are on the ground. It looks like this. Maybe you can cover that left foot and keep the right leg up. Just take 2 more breaths here. Right now, you're gonna release that right foot, come back to your boat. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing here. On the other side, take the right leg up, take your left hand to the inside of your left foot, bend into that left knee. See if you can grab onto the outside sole of your left foot from the inside. If not, grab onto your ankle or grab around your shin, grab onto your knee if you need to. Right? Kick that left leg as straight as you can. Point your heel up towards the ceiling. If you can, keep that right hand up to the sky and that right heel hovering. If you need to, grab around your right knee. If you need to, drop your right toes to the mat. Maybe you need to do both. Right? Your left leg might not be all the way straight. That's okay. Get as straight as you can. Hold for 2 more breaths. Right now, you're gonna release your left leg, come back to your regular boat. Right now, our grand finale here with our boat sequence. See if you can bring both hands to the insides of your knees. Really bend into your knees, pull them in, and you grab onto both feet with your feet off the ground if you can. That's an accomplishment in and of itself, right? But try, if you've gotten that far, to see if you can straighten out both legs. Wider. You really got to balance here just above your tailbone, right? If you roll too far back off your tailbone, you're gonna roll right onto your back. And if you try to push it too far forward, you're gonna end up with your feet on the ground. Either thing is fine, right? Trying to find that spot. Maybe you have to keep your knees way bent, right? If your legs don't extend, you're here. Take 3 more breaths. All right, now you can release your feet, drop them to the ground, push your belly to your thighs, hug around them, tuck your chin to your chest. All right, now release here. We're gonna come around back to our hook line with our feet at the top of the mat. We're gonna lay it down on our back. again. So reach your arms out long, tuck your chin to your chest, round it all the way down. This time, as you come all the way down, all right, we're gonna bring our fingertips behind the head, right? And you're gonna take your feet straight up to the sky. So like you're in waterfall, right? Flex your feet like you're gonna step up on the ceiling. Right. And then from here, to start out, all you're gonna do is move your upper body. You're gonna keep your chin pointed towards the ceiling. Just lift your head and shoulders up off the mat and come back down. Your elbows to touch the mat as you come down, but they stay out to the side. So you're gonna go like this to come up, right? Just come right here, up and down, up and down. Do it 8 more times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right now, see here, if you can lift your head and shoulders up off the mat, just keep them hovering off the mat, keep your elbows to the sides. Now take your right foot, drop it down to your right heel, just hovers over the mat. Pull it back up. Take that left foot down, let it hover. Pull it back up. And just keep going back and forth here. Don't drop your heel all the way to the ground, just bring that straight leg down till the heel hovers, and then pull it back up. Your feet stay flexed the whole time, like mine are. Keep your head and shoulders up off the mat. Try to keep your elbows from pulling inside. We're going to do 3 more on each side here. 3. 2. 2. Last one. 1. And 1. All right, now let your head and shoulders relax down. Keep your legs in waterfall. If you want to give them a quick hug into your chest, you can. Right? We've got one more thing to do with our legs in waterfall. So you're going to take your arms up overhead now, right? So your palms are up to the sky, your fingertips are just reaching straight back behind you. Now here, as we start out, we're going to peel our head and shoulders up off the mat. Your left hand is going to reach forward. Your right fingertips are going to reach towards your left toes. And then drop it all back down, take both arms overhead, let your head and shoulders come down. Lift your head and shoulders, right hand's reaching to the right side, left hand reaches towards the right toes. Maybe touches, maybe not. Come back down. All right, so keep going back and forth here. One hand reaches forward, the other hand reaches towards that foot. Keeping your legs steady and straight in that waterfall. So we're going to do 5 more on each side. 5. 5. 4. 4. 3. 3. 2. 2. And then last one. 1. And 1. All right, now let everything come down. Bend your knees, hug them in to your chest. All right, oh, I forgot though, there's one more thing you have to do in waterfall. That's okay, hug your knees into your chest anyway, right? We're just gonna send those legs back up to the sky. Now what you're gonna do here, you're gonna make like a fist with your interlaced hands, right? You're gonna take it overhead so that your thumbs are resting on the mat. Now all we're gonna do here, you're gonna take your right heel, drop it towards the ground, so your right heel's hovering the ground, peel your head and shoulders up, drive those fists towards your left foot, right? Then pull your right leg up, drop your fist back down. Do that the other way. Dropping your left heel, hovering it over the ground, pushing your fist towards your right leg. So just go back and forth here. We're going to do 8 more on each side. 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, and last one, 1, and 1. Right, now, let your knees hug into your chest. Now we're gonna bring our legs back to floating table. So you've got the knees over the hips, calves parallel to the ground. You're gonna take your arms, right? You're bending in to your elbows. And you're gonna bring your hands back so that your fingertips are touching behind your head and your elbows are going up to the sky, right? Now from here, you're gonna take both feet, you can bring them into a Pilates knee where your heels are touching each other, your toes go out to the sides, or you can keep them parallel, right? You're gonna drop your heels to the ground, right? So you like this. Now, you're gonna lift up, you're gonna pull your elbows up, you're gonna pull your knees in. They're gonna touch together, right? So you're lifting your head and shoulders up off the mat. Your knees might have to come a little bit past your hips, or maybe you can lift your head and shoulders high enough that your elbows can touch your knees while they're at your hips, right? It doesn't matter, really, right? Whatever you can do to get them to touch each other. And then you're taking it back down to your fingertips touch the ground, and your elbows are up to the sky, and your heels touch the ground, your toes are pointed up to the sky. Lift up, pull it all back together. All right, let's do 8 more like that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let everything relax down. Now you're gonna hug your knees into your chest. All right, now from here, another little thing to do. Let's figure out how to do it. Let's do the other part first. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Roll to one side or the other. What I want you to do, let's all be on our left hip. Right, so you're gonna have your left hip on the ground and you're gonna extend your entire body long, right? So I've got my feet are stacked. I want my feet to be even with my hips to be even with my shoulders. I'm gonna extend this left arm all the way out at first, lay my head down on my left shoulder. So my right hand is right in front, keeping everything nice and steady. Now, if you can, bend in to your right elbow and prop your head up on your right elbow. Now, as I did that, I don't know if you can really see it in this lighting with this camera, but my right elbow kind of popped a little bit in front of my right shoulder. So I'm gonna take it back. So I'm still propping myself up in my right shoulder, but I'm trying to pull that right shoulder back, that right elbow back in line with my shoulder, right? So I don't want it to be way up here, right? This is easy, I can do this forever. When I pull the elbow back by my shoulder, it's a little bit more work to hold myself steady, right? You should already, just being right here, feel your core engaging a little bit, that maybe that right hand is working to hold you up. Okay. Now, see if you can take your right hand and just put it right on your right hip. Your right elbow's going up to the sky. And then one last thing here, you're gonna bend into your right knee. You're gonna put your right foot alongside your left thigh with your right knee pointed up to the sky. So you're like in a little reclining tree. Don't kick that left foot forward, try to keep it in line. Right? Maybe you can pull that foot in so that you're stepping on your thigh. If it's on your knee, it's okay because it's not a real tree, right? Your knee's supported by the ground. So if you put your foot on it, it's okay. Maybe it's down here by your calf, whatever feels comfortable to you. And I just want you to hold right here. It should be work, right? You should feel that belly kicking in. Hold you steady. Hold here for 4 more breaths. And extend that right leg back long. Take your right hand back in front of you. Roll back onto your belly. And then we're just gonna do the other side. I'm gonna flip around so you guys can still see me. You guys can just flip over if you want to. All right, now here, we're lining everything up on our right hip, right? So make sure that your feet are in line with your hips. And your hips are in line with your shoulders. Extend that right arm all the way out. Lie down on your right shoulder. Take your left hand just in front of your chest, and then bend into your right elbow. Prop yourself up. Notice where that right elbow is. Probably you need to pull it back a little bit so it's completely in line with your right shoulder. So like this at the beginning. Find your steadiness. Then pick up that left hand and see if you can bring it to your left hip. And then from there, bend into your left knee. That left foot down on your right leg. So be here on the calf, be here on the knee. Maybe just like a mule tree, you pull it all the way to your inner thigh. Try to keep everything in line, right? Our tendency is to want to kick that right foot forward. Gives you more steadiness. Don't do that, right? Keep it in line with the rest of your body. 2 more breaths. And let that left hand come back down. Extend that left leg long. We're gonna roll back on to our belly here. Do some work in our back. So I'm gonna face forward here. I don't know how this is gonna look. I've done this, but not on camera yet, so let's try it, right? So I'm gonna lay down on my belly. Right, my hands are gonna extend in front of me now. You just can't see me. Change this camera angle a little bit. That's better. Right, because I'm not gonna stand up. Now I want you to see the floor. All right, so I'm lying here on my belly. I'm reaching my arms forward. All right, now you're gonna pull your hands back towards you. So you want your hands at your chest. So your elbows are pointed straight back behind you. Your shoulder blades are pointed together behind your back. You're lifting your head and shoulders just slightly here. So it's like a baby cobra, like we do in cobra, right? I mean, like we do in yoga. You should feel that little pull in your low back. Back's working to hold you up here. Now, hopefully you can see this part on camera. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna bend into my right knee. I'm bringing my right heel towards my right glute. And then I'm gonna drop it back down. Now you're gonna bring your left heel towards your left glute. Drop it back down. So just do that a couple more times each side. Right heel comes towards the right glute. It drops back down. Left heel comes towards the left glute. It drops back down. Right leg. Left leg. All right, now here's where we're gonna get a little funky, okay? You're gonna take your right leg, bring it toward your right glute. All right, now push into your right hand, right? So you're rolling over, your left hand staying on the mat, but you're pushing yourself over towards your left hip. So your right foot is coming down on the ground, back behind your left leg. Keep pushing into your right hand. Bring yourself all the way up to seated. Now I'm gonna end up facing the back of the room, and so should you, right? So I'm pushing myself all the way up. So my right foot's on the floor, and my left foot's in front of me. I'm gonna spin around here, so I'm facing you, right? But you stay where you are, right? So you've got your right foot on the ground and your left foot in front of you. Bring your hands over, reach them towards that left foot. And then come up, you're gonna bring your hands around outside your right leg, right? Now, you're gonna push that right foot into the ground, drop your left toes so your left toes come into the ground. I want you to bring yourself all the way up to a standing position. Keep your hands around. Let's see how I ended up nowhere near my mat, right? Because I slowly moved around. So now you're here in a wide forward fold. But it's not that wide probably, right? Let yourself go ahead and step back onto your mat. Take your stance wider, drop those heels, drop those feet to the ground, or drop those hands to the ground. That's what I was saying, crown the head towards the floor. Now use your core here. You're gonna push away from the mat with both hands and just bring yourself all the way up to standing. Now I've changed the camera angle so you guys can see me anymore. Now we'll go back. All right, so you're up in this star pose with your hands reaching up overhead, right? Now, turn your heels in and your toes out. Bend your knees, drop your hips, take your arms to those cactus arms. Once you get here, take your right elbow, drop it towards your right knee. Come back up. Drop your left elbow towards your left knee. Back up. Just do that 4 more times. Right elbow towards the right thigh, right knee. Back up. Keep your knees nice and bent. Keep your hips dropping. Keep your arms in those perfect cactus arms. Don't try to drop your elbow and get it all the way down. Doesn't matter if it touches, right? You want to keep this goalpost position with your hands. Just 2 more each way. Right and up to the left and up. Last one to the right. And up to the left and up. All right, now from here, we're gonna come all the way back up to our 5-pointed star. Turn your toes forward, hinge at the hip, drop it all the way back down. Right? Start to walk yourself forward, and you're gonna walk it all the way down until you're back on your belly. Right? I'm changing my camera angle again. We gotta do that again, but we're gonna do it with the other side, right? All right, so now I'm here on my belly. Bring your hands to your chest, right? So your hands are right by your chest, not by your shoulders, not by your waist, right by your chest. Elbows point behind you, shoulder blades coming together. Lift up into that baby cobra. All right, stay in this baby cobra position. Kick your left heel towards your left glute. Drop it down. Kick your right heel towards your right glute. Leg it down. And just keep going back and forth here, back and forth. One more time on each side. Left heel, right heel. Now this time we bring our left heel up, right? We start to push into the left hand, push yourself over onto your right foot, drop that left foot to the ground, keep pressing into your left hand. So you're gonna bring yourself all the way up to seated. You should have your left leg bent and your right foot long. Now I'm gonna turn around to face the camera. You don't have to turn around. You stay where you are, right? Now from here, unless you need to, so you can face the camera, right? You're gonna sweep your hands over, reach toward your right foot. And then sweep your hands around, bring your hands outside your left leg, right? Drop your right toes to the ground, really push into that left foot. You're gonna bring yourself all the way up to a fold here. Now you're gonna end up at any random angle, right, like I did, and it's okay. But wherever you are, now you're just gonna step it back to your mat, come into a wide forward fold at your mat. And then from there, you're gonna push away from the mat with both hands, right? Keep everything nice and flat. Use that core strength to bring yourself all the way up into that 5-pointed star. Turn your heels in and your toes out, bend your knees, drop your hips. This time, just keep your hands up to the sky, right? Palms face each other. And then what you're gonna do here, right? You're gonna lean to the left, because we're on the left side, right? You lean to the left, let that left arm come down. Let it slide down the inside of your leg as that right arm reaches over. And then use your core, pull everything back up. Go the other way. Drop that right hand inside your right thigh. Reach that left hand over, slide that right hand as low as you can. If you can touch the ground, that's great. I don't have that much core strength or that much flexibility to do it. Do it 4 more times each way. 4. 4. That's 3. 3, I forgot we started on the left side. 2. 2. Last one. 1. And 1. Now come back here. Now come all the way back up. Turn your toes towards the front of the room. Drop down. and then walk it back out to your belly. And then from your belly here, right now, again, we're pulling our hands to our chest. We're gonna push it up just into tabletop, right? We're gonna do our last real working move here from tabletop. So you're gonna come into tabletop, that's hands, knees, both. You've got your shoulders over your wrists. You've got your hips over your knees. I should move forward a little bit here so I'm kicking it for doing this part. All right, so I'm here. Now, you're gonna take your right leg, extend it long behind you, lift it to hip level, right? Get those toes towards the ground, get your knees towards the ground, get your hip towards the ground. Take your left hand, reach it forwards. Your left palm is open towards the right. Your left thumb is up to the sky. We're gonna stay here on this side. All you're gonna do, you're gonna take your left hand, sweep it up to the left. Take your right foot, sweep it to the right. So now you're in awkward with that right shoulder right over the right wrist, not bending into the right elbow, right? Pressing through that right palm. Now, bring it back into spinal balance. And somebody's grabbing a hold of your left wrist and your right ankle, pulling in opposite directions. Sweep it back, open to awkward. Bring it back to spinal balance. Right, each time land in the pose. Right, do it 4 more times each way, or each position. Awkward, spinal balance. Awkward, spinal balance. 2 more. Awkward, spinal balance. Awkward, spinal balance. Now drop everything back down into tabletop, all right? Let's try that, going the other way. So you're gonna take your left leg, extend it long. Your toes point towards the ground, hip point towards the ground, knee point towards the ground. Make sure you're really pushing away from the mat with that left hand. And your left shoulder is right over your left wrist. Reach your right hand forward, right palm towards the left side of the room, right thumb up to the sky. This is our spinal balance. We sweep that left foot out to the left. We sweep that right hand out to the right. Again, you're trying to keep everything steady here, equal weight on each side of your body, right, as we come into awkward. That's what makes it awkward. Your right glute should be working. You should feel that left arm working. You should feel your core working. So we get back into spinal balance. Just do it 5 more times each way, right? Awkward, spinal balance. Awkward, spinal balance. Awkward, spinal balance. 2 more. Awkward, spinal balance. Last one. Awkward, spinal balance. And then drop that right hand down. Drop that left knee down. Come back to tabletop. Let yourself come back to child's pose. Reach your arms long. Roll those wrists around. All right, now from here, we're gonna come from your child's pose into a low kneel, right? So that means you're flattening your feet and you're just gonna sit back over your hips. So it looks like this. If this doesn't work for you, you can't sit all the way down on your heels, right? Maybe you're here in high kneel, right? You can do this from high kneel if you need to, just without dropping your hips. If you can, come to low kneel, right? Take your hands up to the sky. Sweep your hands around, back behind you. I'm gonna come sideways actually, because it'll make it easier, at least for this part, right? So I'm interlacing my hands behind my back, pulling my shoulders together. You're gonna push those knuckles towards the floor, right? Hands, pull your thumbs up and off your low back if you can. Take your chin, your gaze up to the sky. So push your chest forward. You're leaning back. You feel good on your back, you feel good on your chest. If it doesn't, right, don't lean as far back. And then come back up here. Now, I'm turning forward again because this is where you need to see me, but you can stay where you are. Now you still have your interlaced hands, right? Bend into your elbows, bring them to your right hip, right? So see how my palms are right on my right hip, right? Now I'm gonna open my right elbow all the way out to the right at first, and then I'm gonna push it as far towards the back as it will go. So I'm really pushing my right elbow towards the back of the room. The left forearm is pressing against my low back. Now drop your right ear to your right shoulder, tilt your chin up to the sky. And then come back around. Now drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And still turn your chin up to the sky, still with your palms pressing into that right hip, still with your right elbow pointed towards the back. Now, look towards the front. Now you're just going to take your hands, switch them, right? They're going to come back behind you. Now they're going to go to your left hip. Same thing here, right? You first got that left elbow pointed as much to the left as you can get it to go, and then push it back so that it's pointing as much towards the back of the room as you can get it to point. I'm going to angle myself a little bit so you can see what's wrong with my left hand. It's all disappearing. All right, now I'm going to drop first my left ear to my left shoulder. Tilt my chin up to the sky. I was going to say right chin, but there's only one chin, and it's pointing up to the sky. Your left ear is dropping toward your left shoulder. Now, from here, come back up. Now drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Tilt your chin up to the sky. Pushing that left elbow back to get the sensation. Look up. Now release your hands, right? Let your hands relax down. We're going to come over to one hip or the other. And just sweep your legs in front of you. Right? Especially if you were down in low kneel. Now your knees are feeling crunched up, and we did a lot of work in the legs today. So I want you to just kind of patty cake out your legs. See me? Like this. And then from there, just take your legs out super wide as you can. See me? And then we're just gonna fold over each leg. So we took a little fold earlier. We were getting up and then doing those work from the goddess pose, right? But here we're gonna really go into it. Take your hands up to the sky, right? And then just sweep your body over towards your right leg. Fold your upper body over that right leg. Keep that left hip down on the ground, right? Don't let that left hip peel up. You just wanna sweep your hands over toward your right leg and fold your upper body over that right leg. So you should feel, right, the stretch in the right hamstring. You should also feel it in your back as we take the twist. Back did a lot of work today. If you're grabbing onto your feet here or onto your right foot, that's great. If you can't reach your right foot, then your hands are just on your shin or your knee or your ankle. You're trying to keep that back as flat as you can, right? Don't tuck your chin to your chest. Try to round out and drive your head down to your leg. Just bring your chest as far forward over your leg as you can. And then slowly peel back up. Sweep your arms back up overhead. And then turn yourself towards your left leg and fold. And then here, I'm trying to bring that upper body right over the left leg. You reach all the way to your left foot. Get your hands on your ankle, your shin, or your knee. Keep the right hip anchored, right? Don't lean so far over to the left that you start to drop your toes in and your knee in towards the center, right? Keep that right leg active. Keep that right hip planted. When you're ready, come all the way back up. Now, one last thing here, bring your hands up overhead, right? Palms towards the front, just drop them down in front of you and just walk it straight forward. Try to keep your toes and your knees pointed up towards the sky. Those inner thighs open, let that upper back open a little bit more. Maybe you can drop all the way down to your elbows. Maybe you can get that low. And then we're slowly gonna come back up. All right, and then one last thing, obviously we're gonna lay down on our back and finish up with our legs at the wall. So you just have your mat, just lay down on your mat and take your feet straight up to the sky, right, like we did earlier. Except this time, we're just gonna relax here. Keep your head, yes, shoulders all on the ground, your hands at your sides. Feel really good getting that blood to go from your feet where it pulls all day back to your head and your heart. We need it more. If you have wall space and you want to go against the wall, just bring that one hip to the wall, swing your legs up the wall, and try to get your glutes to touch the base of the wall so that much of your leg as possible is on the wall. You flex your feet still, and it just feels even better because you've got that support back behind your legs. So you can be on legs at the wall, or you can just be in your waterfall. Yeah, just get that blood to go from the feet where it pulls all day back to the head and the heart. We need it more. It's good. It's relaxing. It'll make us feel nice and energized for the rest of the day. You can stay here for as long as you want to. When you're ready to come out of it, if you're here on a wall, just bend your knees so your feet come against the wall and then roll yourself over to one side or the other. If you were just on your mat, start to bend your knees, let them scrape along your face and body and drop your feet back down to the mat. And then we'll all push it up into seated. Closer here. All right, so that was our Pilates for today. New day and time.
Okay.